Warning, this is a family-friendly radio. Children of all ages are welcome to participate.
This is my grandpa's geocaching talk show. And now for our latest news.
Hello, geocachers. This is Hikerjamz
and Crazycritter1966.
Today we bring you show episode number 34. And so we're moving on up in the numbers there. And that is since Crazycritter and I have both teamed up to do our episodes together. And today we have a few things to bring up. We have a message from Mark in the UK, and we have a couple stories to tell about our geocaching this week. Yesterday, we were supposed to do the show yesterday, but everything turned out so right that we decided to go geocaching. So we spent, I think it was 6-7 hours out there.
5.
5. It felt like 12. But it was nice and hot down here, and we got a little bit of a shower toward the end, but we were already done geocaching.
Too bad it wasn't raining while we were geocaching.
Oh, that would have felt good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And there's a couple other things that we're going to bring up, too, as we go through the show.
Okay. Listen up, mail call.
Okay, we got a message this week from Mark Holden over in the UK, and he's telling me that the weather's been great for the last few days, so that has helped lift his spirits a lot. He also had 2 great days of caching with some friends. He walked 10 miles on Monday and 11 yesterday. That was this week. So he says, dogs and me having a rest day today. He's now on 691 finds, and he's going to see an old friend in Wales in a few weeks. She loves walking, so with any luck we'll grab some caches while there, especially as the first cache in Wales is about 10 miles from her house. Over winter I got really down and almost hibernated through it, but feel much better now. And said he just got a text from his friend in Wales, and while he was sending this message, and she wants him to introduce her to geocaching. I will be quite envious if she gets hooked, as there are a lot of great trails near her. One of the ones we found yesterday, the hint was magnetic, but the location was a track by the side of a woods. So nothing to stick a magnet to except a few rusty rails. 5 of us searched for over an hour, and we met some other cachers who had also been searching ages. And one of our group eventually found it in a discarded plastic bottle with a metal disc under the lid. So it was magnetic, but looked like it was a totally non-magnetic location. So that came from Mark, and Mark, we appreciate the messages that you send in to us. We've had a few of them from you, and anybody else that wants to send in their little story or little message or whatever, you can send that to Radio Talk Show 2013 at gmail.com, or you can go to speakpipe.com/hikerjamz and leave an audio. So there we have it. And so now what are we going to do? We're going to go into what we did yesterday when we should have been doing the show.
Don't tell everybody we should have been doing the show and we wasn't. Oops, sorry.
We had fun. We come up with 12 caches with it we listed. Now we had 22 trackables that we needed to get rid of. I mean, we had to put them out there somewhere. And so what we did, we went from our location out and just looked for all the caches that were either regular or small. So we had a box, a cardboard box, where I used to work. They would have fired me for that. It's a corrugated box. Okay, so we had them in this box, and between I had 11 and Crazy Critter had 11. So off we went. We had 12 caches, and we figured if we put 2 in each cache, we'd get rid of them. So off we went. I threw away the paper I had all them caches wrote down on.
Me too.
Yeah. Let me see if I can dig that information up here real quick. Okay. We found a list.
Easy to find.
Yeah. I was going to dig through the trash and find it. Crazy.
And I just looked on Geocaching.com for my last found caches.
I'm not too smart sometimes, so...
No, you just like to do things the hard way. I try to do them the easy way.
Oh, okay. Well, that was my goal in life, to learn how to do everything the easiest way.
Okay.
And so,
we need to work on that a little bit.
Yeah, well, I don't have Geocaching.com brought up on my...
I do.
Okay, well, all I have is the studio here, so... Okay, so what's the first one we went to find was...
I'm not going to start by the first one because they're not in that kind of list,
Okay.
but we'll say Last Up Rest.
No, that was the second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the second one we went to, after we got there...
Silly me.
Didn't even ring a bell. I mean, we when we got there, we realized that we'd both already found it and signed it.
I found it a month ago. Well, last month.
Yeah, but it was a small container. It was a lock and lock, and so we dropped a couple TVs off in there, and it was in a what was the name of that?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it was a walking park. They called it it was a huge walking park. But anyway, we dropped off our 2 TVs in there and listed that. Then a funny thing about that, I'm going to skip to the end and then go back. But after we got home and logged all our finds and all our TV drops and everything, when I went when I went to that page to show that I dropped TVs in it, somebody had already picked up one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess they couldn't really do anything. It was still in my hands. So they discovered it and took it.
Oh, okay.
So I sent them a message telling them, okay, here's what happened. You picked it up before we had a chance to get home and log it. So now you can go in there and show that you retrieved it. And because she said, I guess it was a she, I don't know. Anyway, they said, there they go.
That worked.
They said that they was going to move it along. So I figured I better let them know now to go up there and show retrieving it. And anyway, that's what happened with that one. Now, the first cache we went to, I remember that one was...
Deadest End.
Deadest End, yeah. I had signed that one last February when we was down here on vacation. So I just went along for the ride and to get Crazy Critter there. But we still looked for 15 minutes trying to find that thing because in a year's time...
Things change a little.
The whole area changed a little. I mean, I thought we just walked right into the woods there and there it was. Unless they moved it, and they could have moved it.
Mm.
So we went by the coordinates that they had. Took us right to it, didn't it?
Yeah.
And that was a small lock and lock.
Uh-huh.
Had some Mexican jelly beans in it.
Yeah.
No, not jelly beans.
Jumping beans.
Some Mexican jumping beans in it. So I held them in my hand to try to get them warmed up, and I had my camcorder with me. I was going to video the jumping beans, but I don't know. They must have already been hibernated or something because they wouldn't jump.
Aw.
Yeah, that's right. You got any Mexican jumping beans that you want to throw away? Just put them in a cache.
Oh, speaking of putting things in the caches, a nice little friendly reminder to people. Take a good look at what you're putting into the caches because, again, we found something that should not have been there because you have children caching with you. So please think before you put something in a cache. Children go to those caches, and there's certain things they really don't need to be finding.
Yeah, it's a word that rhymes with condiment.
It rhymes with condiment.
At least
that
the
works.
The first part of it, anyway. So so come on, people.
Children, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, 7 years old.
Pick it up and say, "What's this, Mommy?"
You really want to explain that to your child?
Oh, it's
It's a balloon. Okay, let's go buy some balloons. No.
Okay, well, that's not right.
No.
That's like there's a lot of things that could be left out of the caches.
Definitely.
And if that's all you got to put in there, just take something.
And don't leave anything.
Yeah, just do that. So anyway, the next cache we went and found was you don't have to go in order. Just
Jimmy Junk 2.
Jimmy Junk 2. Wow. That's where I'm throwing myself. Which one was that? So
Because there was a lot of them that described the area.
Right. It wasn't really junk. It was.
Oh, there was a bit of trash thrown around out close to it.
Is that the one where I definitely decided to go buy a grabber?
Was it that one?
Well, there's two of them. Yeah.
Okay, it might have been.
I'm going to buy a grabber.
Oh, goodness.
Because when we found this cache, it was in between two rocks.
Uh-huh.
I looked down in that hole to see if it was in there, and I come back out of there and says, I need a stick to I think there's a snake in there. And so I got a stick, and I stuck that stick in there and hit it a couple times, and then it didn't move. So then I got brave.
Braver
I kind of uncovered the sticks and stuff that was in the way with the big stick, and I said, well, okay, So I looked back up in that hole again, and I didn't see nothing back up in there, and so I stuck my hand in there. Now this is the night before. I had just dreamed about getting bit by 3 or 4 snakes on my hand. And now I'm going to stick my hand in there and try to grab something that looked like a snake.
Snake skin camo.
Yeah, the snake skin camo on this lock and lock. And, I'll tell you what, it was awesome. So we put 2 or 3 travel bugs in that. That was my email. So, yeah, anyway, we just decided to wasn't really interested in taking anything with us, just putting things in them.
Yeah, just to get rid of the TVs so they could move.
So then we went to another one.
Picayune your gator.
Yeah, Picayune.
Picayune your gator.
Your gator. These words down here is really hard to pronounce when you're from up north. That wasn't too bad a one. That was alongside the canal.
That was the one you thought we had to go up this good little climb and then go down?
No, this one was the one that we spotted before we crossed the road, which wasn't really a road. The one in the coffee can.
Oh, yeah, that was the quick one. You're right.
Yeah, a big 3-pound coffee can. And we're down this gravel road, or sandy gravel dirt road, following the canal, and it says I was 16 feet from it or something like that. So we pulled over, and got my camcorder out and started walking toward this tree where I thought, well, it might be. And we got about halfway across the road, and there it was, standing right there. So I covered that one up a little bit more after we replaced that. That was our last cache we did because we didn't have any more TVs to put in it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So we stuffed it full of toys.
A lot of toys.
Couldn't hardly. There was only a carpenter's pencil, an ink pen, and
one little bitty toy of some
yeah.
kind.
So we shoved toys into that thing to where the lid would still fit on it and put it back. What's the next one, ours?
Don't be a blockhead.
Don't be a blockhead. Now this was in some people's yard.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about going into people's yards down here because, where do you park at and all that? Well, I parked in their yard. It was kind of off to the side, but it was still their
It was, yeah.
maintenance area. They maintained that part of the grass. And we walked up there, looked all around, and it said something about a stake with a pink ribbon on it. But it says no need to pull that out because that's not it. Okay. Well, we was looking all around this pole. It would be a good idea to put one. And there was a box coming up out of the ground about 5 feet tall. Had a cap on the top of it. And I looked at that, and the cap was tight. It wouldn't move. So then I seen some cable wire. And I thought, oh, here's one of them cables. And I looked, but the cable went into the box, so it wasn't that.
And I was looking at your feet, just waiting for you to move so I could turn something over.
Well, I accidentally stumbled across this one trying to find it, and literally stumbled across it. When I turned around and started to walk away, I tripped over this rock. And I heard something go dunk. It didn't sound real right, so I turned around to look, see what I tripped over, and there's this rock that had moved about an inch or two, and I could see a little blue something under it.
Mm-hmm.
That was another coffee can. No, that
was
a
macadamia nut
can. It was a square, about a 2-pound can, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
And they had GC wrote on it, but this rock was over the top of it, and it just looked like a rock in a yard, landscape, Well, we pulled it out of the ground, and it wasn't buried. It just down in the ground where you could see it, and we pulled that one out and signed the log and everything. Put some TVs in that too, I think. And I got some pictures and video of it. But what was so odd about that was what was it, that picture, that flag that you took a picture of?
Oh, it says frog parking only. All others will be towed. TOAD.
Yeah, it was good. We took a picture of that. Maybe we'll put that up there on our pictures today. I don't have any pictures. We'll throw some up there. It might take till later on today to get them up there, but check back and we'll have them up there. This thing's kind of went a little slower this weekend than normal, but okay. Well, after we found that one up in these people's yard, it was kind of spooky, walking around in somebody's yard. But the next one we did,
5 little monkeys.
Oh, that was not good either. This one took me right up to this house, and I went past. I turned around in this people's driveway. I think it was their driveway. The second one, they had a horseshoe-shaped driveway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I pulled into the last driveway because it showed it was right there, right around that pole. There was a big light pole there, and so I turned around and we came back, and I pulled off of the road, kind of like in the ditch. And I'm out there looking around, and the hint was
ring around the pole.
Ring around the pole, something like that. And we couldn't find. Well, I'm looking for. I seen an old tire out there, And I thought that was the ring, but there's the pole over there. So anyway, didn't see anything around the tire, so I walked up the driveway there a little bit, at the start of the driveway. And on this utility pole, I seen this thing that looked like a PVC pipe. And I'm thinking, well, that's an easy cache, so I walked right up to it. And when I did, I realized that was one of those sensors that you go across your driveway, so you know when somebody breaks that sensor, somebody's coming in your house at your driveway. So, ding! I guess there's the bell.
There's the ring.
The ring.
And it was around the pole.
Yep, it was around the pole, and the cache was on the ground next to the pole, where you had to go through the sensor to pick it up. So apparently they live there, and they probably laugh every time they hear the ring on their device. So we got that one, signed the log, put it back up there, and made it ring again. Good one. What do we have next?
Wilson Stumped.
Oh, this is a good one too. Wilson Stumped. And the hint was, it's in the name.
Yeah.
So it's on Wilson Road. At the end of Wilson Road, and then there's a stump.
Tree stump.
Yeah, makes sense. And another one this one wasn't snake camo. It was
Was
zebra.
that the zebra camo?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah.
That was a zebra camo, and that wasn't so bad. But we did look around. We were stumped trying to find it.
That one took us a few minutes.
Yeah, because there was 2 stumps out there. Tall one that we was climbing all over, and then this one was just sitting there. But Wilson Road.
I'm going to put pictures of the road up because it looks like a bunch of drunks painted lines on it. It was funny.
And what's the story of the road looking like that?
Well, from what I understand, the reason it was done like that is because all the neighbors with their kids getting on and off the bus and playing around the road, they were complaining because people were speeding down the road all the time. So they figured if they curved the lines the way they did, it would slow people down. Unfortunately, it don't work because if people want to fly through there, they'll just go down the middle of the road to do it.
Yeah.
But that was the whole deal, was to slow people down, where they should have just put speed bumps through the neighborhood.
I did exactly like it said the first one. It was double line all the way down the street.
Oh, man.
And I stayed between the lines, and it made me a little seasick there. It was a zig, 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 zig thing.
And I'm like you, trying to picture you going one way and somebody coming at you, and you both trying to zig those lines like that. I'm going to put that picture up there.
Yeah, when you see the pictures, you'll understand what we're talking about.
Wow.
So, every 500 feet or so, there was one of those.
It was crazy.
And there was trees planted
more
toward
the road.
Toward the road.
Toward the road.
And with the curb going around it that way too.
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. So after we got that one,
let's see, Jimmy Junk 3.
Jimmy Junk 3. That was the other snake skin.
Okay.
That was the one between the rocks.
I couldn't remember for sure.
Yeah, that was the one between either one between the rocks or one of the stump. We might have the Jimmy 2 and the Jimmy 3 backwards.
It could be.
But this one was snake skin also, and that was where we was fighting our way into it, and big old rocks to climb over to get to it and everything.
Yeah.
And those rocks was piled up like 12 feet tall, and GPS says go this way. So you know how they say, machete your way in and walk out on a trail.
Yeah, because when we got to it, there was a trail that led straight to the road. We wouldn't have had to go through all that jungle.
When we signed the log and put it back, and we turned around, and there was wide open. I mean, it was like a street almost going into it.
Right to where our car was.
Wow. But unless you got an aerial view,
You don't know that.
Yeah. So then we hit another one.
This was our last one. Well, actually, it was not our last one. It was our first one. But this is the last one we've gotten done. Where caching is a pleasure.
Oh.
That was the one where the officer came by twice and looked at us.
That was a guardrail.
Uh-huh.
And that was across the street from McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that was like a grocery store there.
I'm not sure what that was.
Some kind of a big
We were behind it,
place.
I couldn't tell.
And we pulled up there by the guardrail, and we when we found the cache, we got everything laying up on the hood of the car. And this police drives by, and he looks driving by. And okay, well, I guess he don't want to know what we're doing.
He probably knew. He might have already known.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking, because it wasn't 5 minutes later he come by again, just looking.
Like, did you find it yet?
Yeah.
Never bothered us, never asked us what we were doing, so I have a feeling that they do know that it's there.
Yeah. You figure how many people parked there and look suspicious. We did not look suspicious all day.
No.
We went right to it, got them, and that one says, "Be aware of muggles." That was the 5 monkeys.
Yeah.
And I don't know, unless it was their neighbors across the street.
Be aware of muggles.
Unless that was the people in the house watching us.
I'm pretty sure that sign wasn't that one on the "Don't be a blockhead"?
No.
I thought it was.
Yeah. Don't be a blockhead.
Yeah, that was beware
and that was
the
in
muggles.
a neighborhood too.
That was the rock.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we're gonna take a little short one here and let Lookout Lisa come in here and tell us what her question of the week is. And I've missed a couple weeks of her, and apologies for that, but we have her today, so let's enjoy what she has to say. Lisa?
We recently asked, do you have a signature item that you leave in caches? Well, after tallying all the answers, we found that about half of cachers have had signature items or do currently have signature items that they'll leave in caches. So here's what we heard. Sasha VIE shared on Twitter, "Yes, but I use it very, very rarely." DGS479 shared, "I leave signature path tags in quality or memorable caches." Well, Kelly on Facebook shared, "Most caches are far too small." And Kurt summed it up for many of us. Path tag when I have them, and cache is big enough. It's a crying shame we live in a micro world anymore. Well, on Facebook, lots of our fans posted pictures of their signature items, so I encourage you all to take a quick look if you get a chance to. And then Laura on Facebook also shared that she's a rock and fossil hound. So when she has small rocks, agates, crystals, or fossils, she leaves them. That'd be cool to find in a cache. Well, as always, we really enjoyed hearing about signature items, and you can too if you follow us, Cache Advance, on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, for the geocaching question of the day. Thanks all, and happy caching.
We'll be back after this commercial.
Geocachers, check it out. FTF Geocacher Magazine, the magazine for geocachers written by geocachers. FTF offers practical advice, hints and tips, cacher bios, and milestones, geocaching events, trail tales, and all things geo-related. Check it out at www.ftfgeocacher.com.
This part of Geocaching Talk Show is sponsored by Cache Advance. For a full line of geocaching needs, visit their website today. They are an official Groundspeak distributor, and they have everything you need for geocaching supplies. That's www.cache-advance.com.
Looking for a geocaching adventures? Go to geofleas.com, spelled F-L-E-A-Z. Along for the ride. Travel fleas are now GeoFleas. Order your GeoFleas today and go along for the ride. With over 6 million geocachers around the world, it can be hard to leave your mark. Personalize your geocaching experience with GeoFleas today.
To find out more about geocaching, go to geocaching.com. At the top left of the page, go to Learn and click on Geocaching 101. And from there, you will find all the questions and answers for what geocaching is all about. Then you can sign up as a free member or as a premium member and get started as a new geocacher and enjoy the worldwide treasure hunting game wherever you are. That's www.geocaching.com. geocaching.com.
Okay, we're back, and don't forget, if you would like to call us and give us your story, we can do that. If you call the studio number, which is 937-381-9343, or you can call Skype number, which is 937-935-5350. If you have Skype and you don't have a phone or whatever, and you just want to talk Skype to Skype, just call me. Look up After-Cache on Skype, and you'll find me. And we'll record off of that also. If you don't want to record it, let me know when you first call, and I won't record it. But I will use it on the show to, like I did with Mark. He didn't want to call in. He didn't want to be on the show. He wanted me to read what he had wrote. So there's nothing wrong with that. If you're audio shy, you don't have to be recorded. But anyway, we was looking back at the geocaches that we was looking for, and you looked up something about the park.
Oh, the Picayune Strand State Forest.
Right.
That's a pretty nice place to go, but you don't want to get too far in because you can get lost pretty easily, from what I understand.
Well, we did.
Yeah, our GPS said could not calculate route. You don't want to be back there and not be able to calculate your route, because it'd be hard to find your way out.
It's nothing but dirt road, and there's nothing out there but signs telling you that you can only drive 30 mile an hour because of the panthers.
Yeah, at 30 mile an hour speed, it says panther habitat, drive cautiously.
Yeah, and there's safety zones out there.
No shooting, no hunting.
Yeah, and it was just wild, because there was a detour on this road.
Oh, boy.
They had a big gate up, and it says detour to the right. And I said, okay, no problem. We only had to go 6 miles.
Yeah.
So I figured we'd go around this little detour and back on the road we was on, right?
It didn't work out that way.
No, it didn't. After we turned right and got about, 200-300 feet, my GPS recalculated and says, cannot calculate your destination.
Yep.
So we was on our own. Then we got probably 10 miles in. I thought, well, I'm just going to set my GPS to go home. And so I hit home on it, and it said I had to drive 50 something miles to get home, and we're only 10 miles from home.
Yeah.
And I knew that wasn't going to be right. So then we seen a couple cars parked on the side of the road, and there was these two ladies standing there by the car. So I stopped to see if they was okay, and oh yeah, we're okay. Do you know how to get out of here? And I'm thinking, oh, that's asking the wrong person. I'm lost.
Well, all we had to do was turn around and go back the way we came.
Yeah, we could have went back. And
the one lady said don't go any farther in there if we didn't know where we were going, because it was a very large place and you could get lost easily.
Yeah, and she said they turned it into a walking path or a bike trail and stuff like that.
They got hiking. You can hike in there, and
that's what she was doing. She was going hiking out there. So she said, if we turn around and follow the other car, she already told her how to get out, and it took us out the same way we went in.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't no big deal after that, but it's kind of nice to get out and see an area like that.
Wide open, knowing there's panthers that could cross in front of you at any time.
We didn't see any, though.
No.
You seen some panthers the other day.
Wow. What?
Where was your camera?
At home, because I was only going to the bus stop to pick up my cousin. Right out here, what?
Quarter of
a mile. Just walked right across the road. And never got scared, never took off, just looked at us and walked slowly across the road. It was awesome.
And then you seen a couple
I've seen 2 wild turkeys.
Yeah.
And they've got the eagles that fly over here. And, of course, we've seen the foxes.
Seen the eagle right outside the motorhome.
Yeah.
And your camera was in its case.
Yeah, I can't even walk outside my door without seeing something.
You got to take that with you every time you turn around.
Yeah, I go outside to do anything. I better have my camera with me.
Even sitting here at the table, we got this double window, and you could see anything out there. We've seen
deer, raccoon, fox.
Yeah, and with that lens you got on there, you could have got a good shot just right through the window.
Oh, I know.
I know your mom said something about the deer the other day was right out here by the, well, we couldn't have seen it because of the shed.
Right.
But she said it was right up there by the water, just a little bit past the water hoses out here.
We have anywhere from 3 to 5 usually every year that just hang around here. And they're really pretty, and they're not scared of hardly anything.
Well, they're scared of my my trail cam.
Yeah, you never. I don't understand how you can be caught in that trail cam, but the deer won't. They're invisible to that cam.
I don't know. It was odd because I've tested that out day and night, and it took good pictures of everything. Every time I walked in view of that camera, it took a picture.
And we know the deer are hanging out there.
I've got a big pile of corn there. I've got a salt block for them and a bucket of water.
And you can tell the corn's disappearing, but you're still not getting pictures. I don't get that.
There was no corn left. Maybe a dozen little pieces of corn.
Yeah.
No pictures on that cam.
They are invisible to that camera.
Wow. I'm starting to wonder. It's not the cam because I proved that.
Yeah, because you're showing up in it.
Any direction I walk into that, there's a 3-way trail.
The deer are wearing camouflage
The deer are
at night.
Camouflage deer.
Yes, camo deer.
Wow.
That's why you can't see them at night, because they're camouflaged.
Okay. Now, there's smart deer around here.
Yeah, pretty smart.
Yeah. But I'll get some pictures though. When
I got
do,
a picture of one
right
out there.
Right out there.
I
Maybe
guess
we'll
I
throw
could
that
put
up there.
that up too.
Yeah, we'll put that up there on
And
notes.
the fox that we caught right out here in front of the RV.
Right.
I'll put that one up there.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll put them all up there on this week's show. And just look in the show notes and you'll see the link to click on to get to that page. I'm making a special page for each show where if there's any pictures that anybody sends in some pictures, send them in. What I want to do is get people to send in their most odd or unusual cache.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the link up to that too on this show so people can see what I've already got on there.
Yeah.
And then send yours to us and we'll put it on there.
We'll see make them pictures famous.
Yeah, we'll see how big that page can get with odd and unusual caches that you have found, or even that you've seen on the internet. If it's not on this page, send it to us. We'll put it on there.
Yeah, we like to see odd and unusual.
We have too.
A couple.
Yeah. So anyway, other than that, I don't think we have anything else to bring up.
Yeah, I think we got it this time.
I know we had I had some email from some different places. Well, like Geocaching.com. They had check out the Geocaching Newbie Tips Pinterest board. Did you know that Geocaching has a Pinterest board?
No.
Yeah, they do. And I will give you the address to that. You can go up there if you go up on Pinterest. I can find it here. So we'll put that up there. Write that down. And also Geocacher finds a veteran's lost dog tags. We ran through that last week or two. So you have to go back a day or two, or you could go to Geocaching blogs, geocaching.com/blogs, and see that. Other than that, I don't see anything else that we could talk about with geocaching, except that, they are still having the last block party for 2015, and go to geocachingblockparty.com and see that. And they're doing 16 films screened at the 2014 Geocaching International Film Festival, and have toured at mega events around the world. They are now making their online debut to earn your vote. So that's at geocachingblockparty.com. But anyway, the block party this year is going to be their last one. They're going to do away with it and start up something different to do every year. So, if you get a chance, go to that. That's up in Seattle, Washington. I don't think we'll make it. I know a lot of people from Florida and New York has been there, but they probably get better gas mileage than I do.
Probably. Or they pile in with 6 or 7 people and take one car and split the gas cost.
That's it. Yeah. All right. Well, we're out of time. It's we've got 4 minutes left, so get them calls in here, and that numbers again. We'll run that right by you. Is the studio number is 937-381-9343. Skype number, if you got a phone you want to call us into Skype, it'd be just like talking to me on a phone. 937-935-5350. And of course you can talk to me Skype to Skype by looking up After-Cache on Skype, and you'll find me there. Alright, so till next week, same time, same place. Hopefully we're going to start doing our show on time. We're going to pick a time. Today we're going to sit here and pick a time and a day that we're going to do our show, and that's when it's going to happen.
A good day would be Saturday.
Saturday
At 7?
7 p.m.?
Yeah.
Be midnight in the UK.
Would it? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
5?
Well, we'll figure that out, but Saturday's a definite.
That's what, but Saturday afternoon is a good time.
Yeah, Saturday's a definite.
If anybody's got any ideas about what time, send it to us. Let us know by email at radiotalkshow2013@gmail.com. Okay. All right. We got to have somebody else help us out here. So we'll be waiting to hear from everybody. And until then, this is Hikerjamz.
And Crazycritter1966.
And what did we say at the end?
Catch you later.